Okay, so we are launching into Unit 2, and I hope you like my joke. I thought it was it's around like shape talk.
It's around.
Around. Which is like when I was doing the pre-work, something that like I kept pulling out is like it's so important for them to be talking about shapes. Before we jumped into Unit 2, I thought I adjusted today based on my conversations with some of you about like how it went today with the whole group assessment, and thinking about how I'm going on Thursday and I'll have Diamond's ear and all the DTLs K2 in the same room for a while. I imagine that it will come up with other kindergarten teachers, so I'm just curious what your thoughts were on how it went today, and I guess I can share now too. I've met with Analia and Sam this week to talk about K-1 accommodations, and started to just like norm K2 because we don't take state tests, so it's a little bit different what we want to do for students who are learning English, students with IEPs, and or anyone else. And so that conversation is happening. It's not finalized yet. As soon as it is, I will share that back, because I think that you could see some changes for the next assessment. With that, how'd it go? What are you thinking? What would be helpful?
I think what I saw the most was kids who, when given something one-on-one, do very, very well, but then need directions read to them 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
Who understand the information, but just for various reasons need their directions only once, or more than 4 times. And I wasn't really sure what to do with those children, because I wanted them to be able to express the math knowledge that they have, but I didn't know if I was going against like the norm to like go and read it to a student for the 4th time and like stand there and be like, did you do this part? Read it. I'm gonna read it to you again. So I think some just like some norms around what it should look like, and make accommodations for kids who don't have IEPs.
Yeah.
That they aren't being successful because of that.
Well,
I know you like Dr. Bowman.
I was a little disappointed in how it went, because I felt very confident with the way my class did on review, and also even, on certain things that we really did a lot of review on, they kind of like bombed it on the test, so it's like, I don't know if it was because this is a whole group, maybe it was overwhelming for them, or what was it, but, like, they knew the material, but when it came to show it on their own, it was shocking. So I had a few students who really shocked me, like, I'm like, wait, this is not you, this is not usually your type of work. And I'm really better than that. So I was afraid to like, can I go do this with them again, is this okay? I wasn't really sure either.
Something also is the pacing of the assessment, because like Perry said, students need directions multiple times. So the question that I like repeatedly said over and over again was the last one about compares, and that takes some time because it's like number stories, and they don't have that Unifix cubes to solve that with. And yes, we do have a lot of at-bats in number stories to do it with the drawing, but I was curious to know, like, how come they didn't have that concrete material within in front of them? They could have?
Yes, they did.
Oh, sorry. Didn't know, sorry.
Perry asked me after, and we said that if there were students that got it wrong, because she was like, I totally forgot, what can I do?
Right.
Well,
Did you
I was by myself,
On the video.
so
Okay.
I couldn't get the cubes.
Okay. If there are students, did you provide them? Great.
Good job. Way to
Good
follow
job,
directions,
Juliana.
Juliana.
If they got it wrong, you can give it to them again with the cubes.
Just that
Just that problem.
There were like 8 kids in my room who got the question either like partly wrong or completely wrong, and they're with Jeremy right now. She's just reading them that question again, and they have cubes in front of them.
Yeah.
And she's not saying like you have to use your cubes. She's
Right.
just like, here are some tools. You have to use them.
Because it shouldn't get in the way of them.
Right.
Not straight.
Like they were trying to draw it?
Yeah. Do they need to
Okay, that's
label
no,
it?
sorry.
Put the numbers inside?
That wasn't it.
I know.
not for
don't
the.
think that's part of getting it correct.
I
Do you have it in
think
front of
so.
you?
Yes, and so it says 1 point for join and 1 point for answer.
So only,
Okay.
so it's only the drawing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, well, I got the drawing.
Yeah, a lot of them got the drawing,
I
but
don't
no
know.
one put numbers.
Yeah, it was
And I think maybe because, well, some of them just don't anyway. So I think maybe because of enough choosing from them.
Yeah.
Whereas,
for all.
But they have to have the correct answer. Is the
right.
answer.
And some kids had the correct representation, but got the wrong answer. But I think one of them.
And one more clarifier on that.
Yeah.
If we're providing them with cubes and saying use them if you want to, but then the expectation is that they will then
Yeah, that was
transfer what they drew with their cubes onto their paper, right? Like,
Because some of my kids, I noticed they had the answer when it came to the cubes and they got it, but they were not able to transfer that everything they did with the cube onto their paper. So then they get the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Because they weren't showing their work.
I think that's just from my point of view, that's feedback for the assessment, but like, that's a whole nother skill that we're asking them to then represent their work, so maybe it should be like, they get 3 points, 1 point if they can do it with their cubes, 1 point if they get the correct answer, 1 point if they can represent it. I don't know,
Or
that
one
just
point
feels
if
like
they,
a whole
one point if they
nother-
write the correct answer.
Right, that
Okay.
feels like another piece.
So cubes represent answer, similar to CGI, right? Like access result strategy. Yeah. Okay.
I was like, okay.
Cool. All right. So that's today, and there's some things that then I just need to follow up on with Diamond, with Analia, with other kindergarten people, and get back to you before the next one. Again, like this was the first. Oh, look. First time doing this, so we'll make adjustments and we'll make it better for next time. The rest of the time we want to go into Unit 2, so think about what are the standards, the assessment. Now, this is tricky again because we know the assessment is going to be a whole group one. So as I was taking it, I was like, I wonder how this is going to be different and what this will look like full group. I don't have that yet, so I can't share it with you, but I think it's still important to know what it looks like from Eureka so that when we get the whole group one, we can make sure they're aligned. And then, yeah, next steps, what we think about how we move forward in this assessment, or this unit. So, let's start with the core standards of geometry and measurement and pull out like what were some of the things that you highlighted, you noted as you were reading. Let's start with geometry because that's the majority of it.
Something I noticed was in the first page of the last paragraph on the page, it says, at this level, students can recognize shapes as wholes, but not form mathematically constrained mental images of them. So like they see the next sentence says like a given figure is a rectangle, for example, because it looks like a door. And they're not able to explicitly think about the components or the defining attributes, but they can like recognize those shapes in other things around them. Which I think is like an important thing to talk about or to think about when we're introducing this. Like, oh, that door looks like a rectangle, like giving them like specific things around them in their environment that look like those shapes. So that's the first thing.
I thought about with that piece on language, how they were differentiating between different shapes, like the different shape, the different triangle would be different if it was like very skinny or very fat, I guess would be the other way. Where like they're starting to build their language around like comparing shapes.
And they can really only analyze if there was a list of like the steps that they have to go through to be able to get to analyzation of shapes. Like it's recognize them, then describe them, and then analyze them. So I think like in the last part of the assessment, that's when they're analyzing, but they're not doing that until like way further on.
Recognize, what'd you say was the second?
Describe.
Describe and then analyze. You can can also, I mean, like tie in what you saw in the assessment or like Tanisha from teaching this unit before.
I think another thing is shape attributes. So, and shape orientation, so a triangle is a triangle regardless of if it's upside, or like, how it is, because it has 3 sides and 3 corners. And it could be thin or fat or tall or small, but it's still a triangle. And I think that triangles are a little easier, but like rectangles and squares and cylinders, I think that's tricky to know the attribute.
That's the thing to think about all the time when we're setting the shape, like in the PowerPoint, and then maybe like making sure that the rectangles are always in different configurations, and when you're holding up a rectangle for them to look like, some days you hold it like this, and some days you hold it like this.
I don't think of how to make this. So like teaching ideas.
I mean, like student systems, like sort the shapes, flat and solid.
That's interesting because, from what I understand of this, we're saying that analyzing it is like the most high order skill that they have to do. But they have to sort pretty early on.
They sort in the fifth lesson.
Right. But they're not, I guess the reason is they're sorting
They're sorting,
by attribute, right? They're
there's,
sorting
well,
by
they are,
semen.
it's by curved or straight.
Okay.
So it's just one attribute,
So the different lines.
yeah.
This is the speak.
Yeah, it's,
Thursday and Friday.
Right, Thursday.
yeah, I think it's the first one that they're sorting.
Right.
Because, yeah, you're not naming the shapes, all that you're doing is, yeah.
Oh, I could pull up the PowerPoint too.
Working on it.
I can put the sorting activity in. I'll update it, because I wasn't sure if we wanted to do it or not.
I think it's a really hard
I think
one.
No, I think we should.
Yeah, didn't you? You said Nico said something last week about like having to have it in there. Or might be wrong.
Maybe I don't remember the date on that, I kind of.
This, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think something that just like
One
an
of nine.
idea
That's what I
from
said. Look, I think you did it.
past
Like
years
this
that we've done
modifies
has been
after
powerful
learning.
is like we've put
I was together.
like a poster on the board in the middle of the circle and like written like shape of curve on one side, line and a straight line, and then like hand out those shapes so
Yeah.
they can like feel the curve and actually place them on the paper. We did that
I didn't do that last year, but I like it. Doing it this year.
Like cutouts?
Maybe you weren't here yet. Yeah. Cutouts on the ground.
Of the
Take
shape.
the big poster boards on the ground and then they sort into a T. And T-frame, they sort the actual cutouts of shapes that have a curve on here, a straight line.
Yeah.
So each kid gets a shape that they can like feel it.
Yeah.
Just make it a little kinetic.
I don't know why it's with magic. I'm very confused by what it is.
They're so excited.
Draw a
So
line
they're
with the shape of the
magical.
magic.
Shapes are so magical.
But
Could-
that doesn't make sense.
To save prep time on that, Harry, but like keep the same idea, could we just do flat shapes that people have? Rather, I don't know, rather than just like cutting them all out and everything. But
I also,
for this, every kid gets a shape. Especially because it's the first lesson.
we do, I was wondering what is our like inventory on shapes? So that we can like all unify, and if you need to order it, come over Thanksgiving break, because like the next, the big stuff is gonna happen when we come back.
Yeah, because not everybody has flat shapes.
I don't think so, so like that's something we can do later,
Yeah.
like make sure we all have the materials to teach this stuff.
Yeah.
I know that we all have flat and solid, we have a set of solid
Solid,
shapes.
but
But I don't know if we have a lot of
flat shapes.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be, I mean, and for the rest of the year, we'll need them.
Yeah.
And for every kid to be able to hold them and sort them.
And talk about the attributes and like
Yeah.
bring them out when you need them.
Which makes me think of the measurement standard sorting. Comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And then the other one